Woo! This your boy Charles Greg with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is an excellent transition to that song that we played today, man.
Yes.
And you know, this is my favorite segment of the show. And why is this my favorite segment of the show? Because I get the chance to do all the good old interviews to the beautiful people, man. Especially the talented people, man. And it gives me great pleasure to interview this sister that I will have the sizzle. Tell me, who do we have today?
So we have the beautiful North Philadelphia native artist Ameerah Khabir, whose ultimate goal as an artist is to constantly challenge herself and have the courage to take creative risk, which she began painting at age 7 and was enrolled in Fleischer Art Memorial, where she was professionally trained in drawing, painting, and sculpture. At age 14, she became a visual major at Creative and Performing Arts High School. She was later selected to take scholarship courses at Temple University's Tyler School of Art, TU in the building.
Yes.
TU. And Moore College of Art. As a college student, Ameerah launched Primary Colors, her independent art consultancy. After obtaining her bachelor's degree in liberal arts with honors, Ameerah relocated her business, now renamed Ameerah K Art. Ameerah returned to Philadelphia, taking commissioned orders from her strong following along the East Coast. So to date, Ameerah's artwork has been featured by Double XL Magazine, Revolt TV, Converse, Coors Light, Heineken, Power 99 FM, the Grassroots Foundation, Made in America Festival, and many more. Welcome to the show.
Go ahead, girl.
Ameerah Khabir, Black Girl Magic.
Thank you for having me.
Black Girl Magic.
Shout out to this sister. Shout out to her family. Yes. Shout out to everything, man.
Yes.
You are so nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is magic, man, and I just want to thank you for coming to the show, man. And like again, we try to highlight the beautiful, the talented, man, especially like the melanin. Right?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
So I'm gonna jump right into it, and let's talk a little bit, because I had the opportunity. You know what? Before we get into you as being artists, let's talk a little bit about your YouTube page and some of the things you're doing with makeup. I thought was interesting. Yeah.
Okay. I started my YouTube page, Ameerah K, last year actually, and it came from just a growing interest in makeup artistry. After doing visual arts so much, especially a lot of portraits, I started getting really interested in makeup, and I saw a lot of similarities between the process of painting a portrait and painting a face.
Wow.
And I would have sort of special events I would go to, and I would usually just hire a makeup artist, and I was just like, after a while I was like, I can do this myself.
Yes.
Yes. And so if I could save some coins and grow as an artist from a different perspective, I definitely wanted to do that. And so I started getting people asking me who did my makeup when I went to events and stuff like that. And I thought a YouTube channel would be a great way to share my experience as a growing artist. There's a lot of YouTube makeup artists out there that, in my opinion, are kind of arrogant and don't really want people to learn the techniques. So I wanted to show that I'm not, perfect. I'm not a professional, and I really wanted a community that would grow with me as I become a better makeup artist. So,
do you find that challenging with the YouTube channel? I guess being like a YouTuber,
the growth is difficult because YouTube is so saturated now. The beauty community is very saturated. There's tons of makeup artists with a huge following, and YouTube is very competitive. So it's difficult to get noticed. But for me, if I'm just gonna remain in a humble place and remain from a pure place. They have these things on YouTube called clickbait, where you put something in your title or in your thumbnail that is misleading to get people to click on your video. And it's a big thing. And so a lot of people get their following by engaging in clickbait. And so, you know, it's proven to work.
Yeah.
But I feel like you'll get a community, but your community is not going to trust you. You know, your following is not going to trust you. So I really want to, I want to gain a sincere community that knows who I am.
Organically.
You know? Because eventually you can't keep that up.
Right,
you know,
right.
You can't keep up an image that is not sincere. So if anybody's following me for any reason that is not sincere, I probably don't want your support anyway. You know,
exactly.
So you know, it's, I would say it's difficult for an honest person. I guess it's difficult because it's all about numbers. You know,
I just want to say, because it's funny how this happened, right? So I'm doing a little research on Beyonce, and I'm doing, you know, and of course, Mr. Carter, you know, that's my boy, you know what I mean? And so I'm just looking around, and I'm on YouTube, and I'm on a couple different things, especially my Instagram, right? On Instagram. And I see this picture pop up.
Yes.
I'm like, whoa, this joint is crazy. Right? So I start doing like, yo, let me see, you know, go through. Then I see the video, and we'll talk a little bit about the video when we transition into the picture. But it didn't occur to me at all who she was.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. Now, all I'm gonna say is Lil Sis grew up.
Yeah.
Now, you met Ameerah Khabir. Have you remember Ameerah Khabir?
Yes.
It sounds you're starting to come
I
together.
was wondering that when I saw that last name.
It
I'm
absolutely
like, I do
is.
know a Khabir. I know a
This
Khabir.
little sis. Now remember, Lil Sis, right? I know Leah's whole family.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it didn't occur this little sis.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, Leah gonna kill me. Right? Leah gonna kill me.
Such a small world.
Such a small world, but I gotta give shout out to Leah because Leah is a talent in herself.
She
Shout out to
sure
Leah.
is.
Leah been
Definitely.
riding with me. We got
Hard worker.
TU.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had the the organization Deja Vu, and Leah been riding with it. Now she's successful publicist,
Yes, she is.
PR, marketing. That's what she does. So shout out to Leah.
Shout out to Leah.
Now I won't. It's not a Leah platform right now. It's Lil Sis, right?
I'm used to it.
Yeah, it's all good. But I know her whole family. I know your Abby, your dad, your mom, everybody. Her other sister, brother. I know everybody. Right? But I'm sitting here like, yo, this little sis. It blew my mind, right? What amazed me though is her talent. This I never knew.
Oh wow.
I never knew.
It's unbelievable.
It's funny you say that. I'm on a committee for a fashion show, and I did some artwork for another show, and some of the people showed up and they said, "How come you didn't tell us that you do art?" And I said, "Well, it never came up." And you know, they were like, "Well, you should share that with us." And I'm just not the type of person to want to create a lane for myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm usually just focused on the task if I'm volunteering for something. So they were kind of like, they felt betrayed. Like, how come you didn't tell us? And so this past year, they really put me to work on like the art side.
Wow.
So it's just not really something I guess I talk about. I'm just naturally just a more shy person. So I feel like sometimes if I'm leading with that, it comes off, well, we didn't even ask you all that, you know. You know, so I just try to play my part.
Fantastic. Beautiful soul. Your whole family is like that. Your mom
you.
like that. Everybody's like that. Beautiful soul. So let's jump right into this picture, man, and the talent, man.
Okay.
And so let's first, before we go into the picture, let's talk about the video that you created. You was talking about making sure you kind of walk the fine line of respecting, you know, artists, their talent and their vision, right? So let's dive a little bit into that, you know, the premise behind the picture and what, you know, why you released that video. Why did you feel it necessary to even release a video like that?
Okay. Well, Instagram obviously is just all about pictures and stuff, and everybody's just posting for the gram and all that. And as an artist, I just wanted people that followed me or people that were going to see it to see that this was a lot of work. This wasn't just a post for me. I thought it was going to be. I didn't think all this attention was going to warrant from this painting. I really didn't. But it took a lot of time, and I wanted people to see sort of just from the beginning the effort it takes, because sometimes people look at, artwork and it's just something cool to double tap and keep it moving, but it's so many hours, it's so much detail and thought, especially when you're painting from a reference, from mixing the colors to make sure the colors are accurate. There's mathematics involved to make sure the placement is accurate, because if somebody's 3 or 4 inches off, you may not get a critical piece of that person's hair or their garment, and it kind of throws off the whole thing. So there's a lot that goes into recreating a piece, and it's not just about how good I can make it look like the original. It's about putting your own style on it as an artist, and having people identify it through your vision as opposed to the photograph.
Now it's interesting you use mathematics, and something I have the nonprofit for STEAM, and it's interesting that you using pretty much that whole platform, right? Now you mentioned a lot about in the video aesthetically kind of focusing on Beyonce, right? Because you feel like people will kind of draw to Beyonce, but still maintaining Mr. Carter there, right?
Yes.
But also I thought was interesting was you mentioned the Mona Lisa. Yeah. And how did you feel in starting to paint, to walk that line of painting the Mona Lisa and the Carters?
Right.
It's kind of like a double bubble there,
And that's why early on I knew when I was going to paint it, I wanted to blur down the Mona Lisa.
Okay.
Because in the photograph, the original photograph, to me, it looks like the Mona Lisa is the centerpiece.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, that was the actual Mona Lisa, too, where they shot the video.
Right.
Which you got to ask, how did you even get a chance to shoot there? That's big right there. But go ahead. I know, boss moves, right?
But to me, it looks like they were splitting to show respect and attention to the Mona Lisa. And to me, I felt like most people that would see that photograph that maybe don't have an appreciation for art would be more focused on Jay and Beyonce.
Right.
So I wanted to muddle down Mona Lisa and bring the attention to them. So the painting, it's effort put into the Mona Lisa, but she's really a lot more abstract than Jay-Z and Beyonce, because I wanted the attention to be on them as opposed to the Mona Lisa. But shout out to Mona Lisa, though. It's a classic art.
Well, I'm speechless. I mean, the painting, and I'm not just saying that it's a nice picture. No, it's fantastic. It's a great picture. I could actually see this in my house. I mean, right? The Carters. Yes. But how do you? What's some of the feedback you have been getting from this?
A lot of wows, a lot of, this is dope. A lot of people have been tagging Beyonce without, me asking it.
Fantastic.
It would be amazing if she ever saw that, but it's just been a lot of support.
I was just going to ask.
A lot of support, a lot of inquiries about prints and things like that. And I just never thought it was going to get like this. I really didn't. For me, it was seeing something that just inspired me, but I never thought that so many people would just be so, so amazed by it. Because to me, I guess seeing it come together, I look at it and I see all the effort that got put into it. So, it's, I don't really look at it the same way. I look at it I love the way Beyonce's jacket came out, but I remember spending a lot of time mixing those colors, So for me,
I didn't even think of that.
It's more of reminiscing on the labor as opposed to just enjoying it for what it is. Because I look at it and I see a lot of work.
But that's how it is.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's how it is when you're an artist.
Right,
And
right.
I'm
You
sure
look
other
at
artists,
when you look
yes.
at, if you're an artist and you look at a piece, anything
Right.
you've done, that's what you see. You don't
Right.
see what everybody else sees.
Right.
That's,
right.
This is remarkably
Other
done.
artists know the work that goes
Thank
into
you.
it.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sure this is like the tip of the iceberg, the exposure that it's getting.
Yeah,
It's probably just going to just
Yeah.
Yeah,
grow.
and hopefully this platform will allow you. Is this your first interview based around that?
My second.
Your second one?
Yeah.
So what is it? This is what I want to know, because I normally ask the question, what's the one thing that nobody else knows about you that you can tell us
Oh,
that you can?
wow.
Yeah. But she said, "Oh wow!" Everybody laugh. Everybody laugh at that. That makes me want to just stay on you now. You know. But I do want to know, what is the one thing that your biggest fear when creating this?
My biggest fear when creating this.
When you created this
when
picture,
I created this.
yeah, that I mean, really, what was? Because every artist has a reservation, right? We are our biggest critics, right?
Yes.
We are our biggest, that little voice in our heads. We talk ourselves out of a lot of different things, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to know, what was your biggest kind of reservation when creating this piece?
My biggest reservation had to be Beyonce and capturing her likeness. And I mean, that Bayhive is serious. You know,
Yes.
they
don't
are
play.
They're very.
Shout out to the Bayhive,
They're
right?
very protective,
Yeah.
and they're vicious. Exactly.
Yeah.
They feel like something is not representing her correctly. They can be very vicious. So to me, even the thought process before putting paint to canvas was,
Yeah.
I'm attempting to
Exhausting, yeah.
paint Beyonce, and I'm posting this, and people are gonna see it, and it better look like her. So that was my biggest reservation. I mean, I've painted Jay-Z a few different times, and
But you were scared of the Beehive.
yeah, I mean,
But you know what? I feel like Beyonce would be the humble one. It's just her Beehive is just like, because she's humble. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure it looked like her. I really did. And I painted Jay-Z a few different times. I kind of have his features down.
Right,
I'm
right.
comfortable with painting Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Beyonce, she kind of looks a little different sometimes depending on the photograph. So
That's true.
to really
That's
capture her
true.
essence was difficult for me. I've only painted her, I think, maybe once before this, if I remember correctly. So my technique actually for her was to paint her in sections to trick my mind into not recognizing her.
Wow.
So I have it's
get
on the
that.
video, like I painted her like in different sort of sections and portions to make it look like a puzzle piece, so she wasn't familiar to me. And then once I got into like a comfort level, like, okay, this does look like her, I started putting the eyes in. Like, even on all my portraits, I put the eyes in last because they distract me if I put them in first. So
They looking at you.
yeah,
They're like, get it right.
the eyes can really mess
Yes.
up a piece
Yeah.
because the artist will probably know if you paint like a pupil just an inch off, it's not going to be looking at you. It's going to be looking over there. And you have to make sure that it's looking back at you because, especially if you're using a photograph as a reference. So, oh my goodness, Beyonce had me a little shut. Had me a little shut.
So I want you to walk me through it real quick. I only have a
Okay.
couple more questions. I want you to walk me through it. How many, first of all, do you know how many colors it took to produce that?
Oh my goodness. If I had to guess, I never kept count. If I had to guess, I would say at least I would say at least 80 colors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How long did it take you?
Oh, That was such a humbling experience. I thought initially it was going to take me 2 days because I work pretty fast and I'm kind of committed. Like usually if I'm painting something that I'm really inspired by, usually takes me like 48 hours tops. Only sleep and eat and back to paint. This took me 2 weeks.
Wow.
And this humbled me so much because I'm just used to cranking stuff out. Like if I want to paint something, it gets done. And this, I was never satisfied. I was just like, no, I want to make it better. I know I can make it better. So it took me about 2 weeks.
Did you have to, I guess, put up pictures while you were painting? Like walk me through that process of you finishing,
The reference?
Absolutely.
I saw the picture on Instagram initially, and so I Googled it to see if I can get a better pixel, definition for it. So I found it on Google, and I set up my canvas next to my computer, and so on Jay-Z's parts, I enlarged it, and it's really no point in printing the picture out, I guess, to have in your hand, because I can't have a picture in my hand while I'm painting. So I just thought it'd be smarter to put it on a computer and leave it there, and I can zoom in and zoom out when I want to. Just the hardest part was probably finding a good quality photo, because so many of them came from mobile devices that the pixel wasn't that great. So there's a little artistic innovation when it came to certain parts of it, because the quality of the photo just wasn't good enough to get as detailed as I wanted it to. But for the most part, it was pretty good. I found the best picture I could find. Something that was the truest to the colors, so I could make sure that the colors were accurate. And there was a lot of changing the setting on my computer so my screen wasn't going black after 30 seconds. That was so annoying.
So where do you go from here?
I guess on to the next inspiration. I'm definitely getting prints of these, so if people are interested in them in their selective cities, like I know some people want to take it to like the concerts that they have, their tour dates. So I'll be having prints for that. But for me, it's about staying inspired, not really riding the wave too long. For the most part,
unbelievable.
People like it and people appreciate it, but it's people are going to move on, and I've learned that as an artist, especially social media, is good for maybe a week, a couple weeks, and then people are like, all right, now I want something else to interest me. So it's just about staying inspired and looking for that next inspiration and keeping that momentum up and that energy up.
In 10 seconds, how would you what would your perfect story be behind this? What would your perfect kind of like scenario behind this picture?
The scenario behind this picture, to me, this looks like a modern day Rhett and Scarlett type of photograph to me. This looks like something that they would have in their hallway to come in and people see them and greet them with this painting. Like,
How can people get in contact? I mean, I ask tons of questions, man, and I can go on and on, but I need for people to know how they can get in contact with you, where they can find you and all that good old stuff.
You can find me on all the social media platforms at Ameerah K Art. That's AMEERAHKART. At Ameerah K on YouTube, and yeah, that's pretty much. I try to keep it all simple across all my social media platforms. So Ameerah K Art. Yeah.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate you.
having
Talent. And unfortunately, we gotta go. So we are now on iTunes and iHeartRadio. Make sure you follow us on iTunes and iHeartRadio, and binge listen to our shows. Like and follow us on We Talk Weekly Facebook page. Download the little TuneIn app. Look for WPPM on P106.5 FM. Tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. for We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at We Talk Weekly, at Charles Gregory, at Lauren _Sizzle, at Sparkless Priceless 1, and at Madam Touch. Subscribe to our We Talk Weekly Weekly YouTube channel. And if you're Philly, catch us every Monday night, 9:30, Comcast 66 and Verizon 5 is 29:30. Download a little TuneIn iThing TV app and on Roku and look for We Talk Weekly. Shout out to Afro Philly MBG Network. We Talk Weekly is now syndicated. You can find us on New York City, Atlanta, Birmingham, Baltimore, Chicago, Delaware, Houston, Jacksonville, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., and all across the nation. Who do you look for?
We Talk Weekly.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go, man. We had a great show. You know I love you, but we got to go. We out. Holla.
Peace.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Classic